Hi there, and welcome to High Frequency Bubble. I'm Vera, and I'm so excited to have you here with me today. This podcast is all about personal growth and tapping into your potential. Whether you're already into self-improvement or just getting started, we have something for you here. In each episode, we'll explore different ways to understand yourself better, harness the infinite possibilities available to you, and learn practical tools to elevate your life. I truly believe we are all capable of amazing things. We just need a little guidance sometimes, that little nudge to remember who we really are. So if you're looking to shake things up, try new approaches, and maybe surprise yourself with what you can do, all while keeping it real and having some fun, then stick around. We are about to kick off this episode today, so let's get into it. Hi guys, and welcome back to High Frequency Bubble podcast. Oh my days, it's been a journey because I had so many podcasts going on, so many people coming here to this beautiful space. And today I have very incredible and special guest with me, because when I was on that journey of discovering my superpower, which we're gonna talk to you about in a minute, she came to me, or I came to her, and we started having this very genuine conversation, and I was embracing myself of knowing my superpowers back then. And today we have incredible specialist in her field. Her name is Daphna, and I'm gonna ask Anna, if you can just tell about yourself a couple words. What do you do? How do you serve people? How do you serve women? And what is your role in the world?
Hi Vera, good to be with you. So I'm Anna, I'm a coach, mentor, psychologist. I coach people with ADHD to maximize confidence, happiness, and performance. So I've been doing that since 2003, mainly because having executive function challenges myself, I saw a lot of people with neurodiversity feeling unheard, unseen, and losing important opportunities in life. So I wanted to mentor them back then. When I was back in Greece, I started working with one child that had ADHD and dyslexia, and did not believe in himself at all. Was told he was lazy, that he wouldn't do anything important. And we went to this coaching journey together. I worked with him for a few years. And when he turned 18, he managed to enter law school, which was amazing because he was told he has severe learning disabilities. But most of all, he started to believe in himself, and I find that propelled me to work with many more neurodiverse people later when I came to London.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, I'm one of you neurodiversity people, and I love it. And I love hearing this from people that that you are helping, that you're embracing, because actually, thank you so much for sharing this. And I love how specialist you are. And you know that we chose each other to be here to talk about the things of your big experience. And in that field, especially for such a long time, being able to work with different people. What I can say in my own example, I went through the ADHD, which I call it HDMI, because we are different, we are special, and I love calling this HDMI. I don't know why, but this came to me. And you see, I remember when I was on this self-discovery, I was really thinking like, oh my God, like, what's wrong with me? Again, it was this self-doubt, it was this laziness, it was the thing that I couldn't finish the tasks, for example. I was getting very messy, as you said, the self-doubt, but I wasn't really sure back then that it was all coming back to the AD, because I was never like diagnosed that, okay, that's what it's going to be. But I know that even the people that they are not diagnosed, guys, we are still suffering from the same things. Like the self-doubt, you don't have to have the ADHD, HDMI, be neurodiverse. If you haven't been diagnosed, you can still suffer from some conditioning that you've been brought up with. And today's episode, we want to challenge you. Because what if your ADHD, your HDMI, call it how you want it, your neurodiversity, your super extra special powers, they are your hidden superpowers. And what if me and Anna today, we're going to help you uncover the strengths under them today in today's episode? So, how does it sound for you, Anna? Do you
I
think we can help them?
I love that mission in general to empower people and inspire them to move from human doings to human beings and being in touch with their essence and their soul and their strengths more.
Yeah, absolutely. We love that. We all love it. When we are coming with the open souls and when we are coming here to help one another, that's what we do. We are finding our own calling, right? So we know that the ADHD, we're gonna call it the superpowers. We know that the superpowers, you had them yourselves. Can you give us, give us some examples? How did you overcome that emotional imbalance? I'm gonna name it like this because I don't think that we are final like emotionally balanced back then. But how did you overcome your emotional imbalance and how did you get your superpowers?
When I was a teenager, I used to suffer from performance anxiety. Most Greek families were very strict and had high expectations of us. So before I set exams and tests, I was paralyzed with fear to the detriment of my performance. I actually performed 50% worse than my capabilities. So then I thought, that's terrible, that's unfair. And I seek the mentors, I seek the learning, I seek the holistic approach in life and questioning my thoughts and manage through time without medication to have more balanced perspectives, and our thoughts can also impact our physiology.
Yeah, that's what it is. The actions, the thoughts, the situations what we are in, they can really help or not help, but make a little mess around our field when we are trying to create, to manifest, to get the things done, to being in that own authentic field what we want to be in, because then this is coming, right? So that's beautiful. I'm so proud of you that you overcome and you did it without a medication. And yeah, that's a true blessings to have you here.
Thank you. And what also helped me was I did a lot of sports. When I was a teenager, I did swimming, volleyball. Then I went into more artistic endeavors because that was more like me. But sports are very, very, very important for people with neurodiversity. They change your physiology, change your psychology.
Yeah, and that's actually so right because I remember when I was a kid, I'm gonna give you like a backstory. When I was a kid, I was like always bigger, and I was, like I wasn't the slimmest. I was like I like eating sweets, and I will remember when I was escaping from the PE lessons because I didn't want to be there, and then it was all the story. Of course, I was telling to myself why I don't want to be there, and all the limiting beliefs. But then what I figured out now, 20 years later, or yeah, 20 years later, I was like, shit, actually, the yoga does me good. Like, I need this 10 minutes for my body. It's clearing my head, it's clearing my space, it's clearing my mind. And it's so good that you said about it because that's such a little thing that everyone can do it and it's gonna benefit them. But we don't do it because something is stopping us to achieving this. But then what is stopping us, we have to go deeper because they are the limiting beliefs or I don't have time and all that stuff, right? That's gonna be the talk. But yeah, that's so true. And I'm so glad that you said about movement. So what you can say, Anna, about the first times when you know that okay, I can't finish the things. I know that I'm getting overwhelmed. I know that I'm not focusing on myself fully. What you can give like a first kind of advice for people that they are there where the emotions are taking over?
There is a difference between stress and overwhelm. What's the difference? Stress can be productive, can mobilize us. Today, I needed a bit of stress to get up and get ready for my first session. But when I'm overwhelmed, my executive functions, the CEO of the brain, my planning, strategic planning, prioritizing, managing time, starting, finishing tasks, gets out of the window. So it's more like a proactive approach, working on the executive function skills and, of course, the nervous system holistically to manage things. And the more we practice this, the better equipped we are when we actually need that. If we have a stressful moment, we are more equipped if we put the right habits in place every day to transform our thoughts and just do the best that we can at that moment and be organized and prepared because we are practicing every day and we're casting votes to our new identity, which is I can be organized, I can get things done. I'm not perfect, but I'm impressing myself every day and just being inspired by your own self.
Yeah. 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 When you're saying this, I'm just like soaking in because I can see that self. I can see myself having so much overwhelmed and at the same time so much stress. And actually, that's true. Well, when we are in stress, we can still get the things done. But when we are overwhelmed and we have so many things to done, and normally these things they have to be broke into the little things so we can finally see and get to the issue, to the root cause of this thing. So think about this, guys. Like getting the passport is not only getting a passport, it's taking the picture, it's filling up the form, it's applying on online and then wait and then do a follow up. It's a whole freaking process. So it's so true with the thoughts. And I got myself even right now. We have so many thoughts. How many thoughts we have per minute in our head, right? I can't remember. It wasn't so many. It was a number, but I can't remember now. But it's so many thoughts that you are processing every single moment that you don't even have to think about that thing, but subconsciously you are. And I think that's where the ADHD is really coming in, where you're having so many thoughts, what to do next, what to do next, what to do next. And then sometimes you're ending up with the procrastination, right? What is another big step. So we have stress, we have overwhelming, and now let's go to the procrastination.
When there is overwhelm, procrastination rules, right? So we need to get more in tune with our emotions and with ourselves because a lot of people with neurodiversity are disconnected with their own bodies. When we are disconnected with our body, we cannot understand where we pass the threshold from stress to overwhelm. That's very important, though, to know and to put strategies and coping mechanisms in place not to get to overwhelm and to take care of ourselves, to have this equilibrium, this balance, and of course to practice and be more structured and whatever each one of us needs to do. So a lot of things can be done for starting things on time. But the first is we need to be balanced. We need not to get too overwhelmed. We need to start understanding our body and what we need at that time proactively. People, places, things to put us back into equilibrium. Because if we are overwhelmed, we will likely to procrastinate or do bad quality work. We don't want that.
Yeah, 100%. So again, we're coming back to the body, we're coming back to the movement, we're coming back to the feelings, how we are feeling about certain way. And who the feelings, that's a massive job because being able to control your own feelings before your thoughts, and then when you're gonna speak out how you really feel, oh, it's such a job, guys. Like I'm trying to think about it, how it was for me when I've started discovering that journey, and it landed on me so good because I was so emotionally dysregulated that instead of sitting with myself, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, or I'm gonna say that to that person, or I'm gonna say yes because it's convenience for them, but it wasn't convenient for me, for example. How many of the situations we have, like when you don't want, when you even can't say no because you are scared that they're gonna say something, and you're basically doing the people pleasing situation at that moment, right? So, how would you say we can control, Anna, these emotions when they are popping in for us?
Emotions are feedback and could be used as a tool to help us guide us to what we need to look at. Maybe it has to do with trauma. We can do therapy. We can look at our traumas. We can sit with our emotions. It can be uncomfortable, but this is how healing starts. Yes, and we can ask yourself, what does it tell me? What is the story behind this sensation? If I'm super stressed, how do I view the world at the moment? Do I view it as a safe place? Maybe not. Do I view it as a busy place? I need to run to be on time every day and I don't have enough time. time is escaping, and just bring curiosity to our state, to our physiological state, and to the story we say to ourselves. Because if we change the story and a few things each day, we can change our physiology as well. And by changing some activities, somatic activities as well that we do every day, or connection with other people, or things, activities that are good for our nervous system, we can also impact our thoughts. So it works both ways.
That's a superpower. Like having that skill with yourself where you know that the overwhelming is not kicking you, when you know that stress is not kicking you because you've got the answer, when you know that procrastination is not kicking you because you've got the answer, and you've got all these tools in your pocket to being able to regulate your nervous system around this field. It's so important. And when you go from, I'm thinking, and I'm just like, holy shit, this has all happened to me. And when I'm thinking about it, how I went from, yeah, that's real talk. When I went from one experience where I couldn't be emotionally there, like I was crying to death. Like I was like, oh my, I was pulling my hair out of my head, and I couldn't understand why was this happening. I couldn't understand like, why the fuck I'm doing this? Like, what is wrong with me? What is it trying to give me? But back then I didn't really think, right, about what was hiding behind. I was like, what, 13? Like, how the heck I will care what was there, right? And everyone said to me that I'm good, that I'm normal, that you know, that I don't always your feelings or something. Back then, guys, it wasn't the time where you were able to talk freely about how you feel. Come on. It was like, okay, go to your room and cry, and you're going to come back when you're going to stop crying, right? But it was there to teach us something. And one of my, and I'm going to ask you the same question, what is your favorite tool for regulating the nervous system? What do you do?
Many things. First of all, I recommend a book that I recommend to my personal clients as well, called Breath by James Nestor. He talks about the right way to breathe, because most of the people breathe the wrong way, and that activates cortisol and adrenaline, stress hormones, take us into sympathetic nervous system, or even worse, immobilized, stuck and frozen, when we are completely paralyzed with fear and we get collapsed or we feel depressed, if that's the case. So breath, the right type of breathing that he talks in the book, a few people do. I've read the book, it's amazing. Can regulate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the main nerve of our nervous system, you know, that is from the brainstem until the end of the spine. So that's one easy way to do breaths, maybe as part of your night routine or your morning routine. And if you're a highly anxious person, maybe to do right breathing for a minute every hour. Because as we said, we need to be proactive in order to access that space when something stressful happens, which is the case nowadays. So I would say breath. Meditation for me is important. With the brain waves, you can tap into creativity, which is another ADHD superpower. I've seen so many people with ADHD are so creative, and that's definitely a superpower that you can access. So meditation, the right type of meditation, because I hear a lot of my clients, but Anna, I have ADHD, I cannot stay still and meditate for 30 minutes. And you don't have to do it like that. It doesn't have to be a specific way. It can be active meditation. You can be for 2 minutes, and it's just the practice and the habit of slowing down your brain and your breathing, and just be with yourself and your body, and just connecting with your body more. Many different ways to meditate. So I go through that in coaching with my clients, but it doesn't have to be sitting still and think nothing. Definitely, if you're hyper, it could be even impossible. But there are ways you can tap into that. And the third for me, although I have many ideas, but would be connection with people that are good for your nervous system and love you, and you feel calmer after speaking with them. We said exercise as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the environment, it's gonna be so crucial. I love the breath because we know, guys, that you can have the active breathing, right? So you want to pump yourself up. You can just have an active breathing, but you can have the box breathing when you are breathing for 4, keeping for 4, and releasing for 6 or 8, or you can even release for 4 as well. And that's gonna put you in that state of meditation. And I love that you say, Anna, that You don't have to meditate for 30 minutes because we know how hard it is at the beginning. Like, I just started, and you want me to meditate 30 minutes. You want me to stay still with nothing. And when my head is going 1,000 miles per hour, and I have things what I'm gonna eat for dinner tonight, and what I'm gonna wear a week time. Okay, so it is not gonna work. But the breath, the power of breath, to that reunion with yourself, because in the end of the days, no matter how stressful situation it's gonna be, the first thing what we do when we come to that earth, we breathe and we listen. And from there, we are starting the next steps of our journeys. So the breath, yes, that's incredible. It really helps. I do the movements as well. I jump and I shake a lot. And the Vergus system, yes, I set the intention when I have a minute and I'm in that very big state of energy, of hyper focus, a lot of energies are coming, and I want to ground myself and I want to regulate. I'm gonna tap and I'm just gonna along my neck, I'm gonna go and just tap here as well to release that's that tension, that space. Yeah. Sometimes I'm gonna go right and left. And I might yawn on that because that, guys, if you're gonna look on the
Energy
longer,
moving, yeah.
yeah, exactly. You're moving the energy. I don't want to keep yawning for us right now, but you can do that
Stop
as
it
well.
because it's contagious.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So I have to stop that. So it's no more yawning right now. But yeah, you can definitely. Thank you, Anna, for recommending this book. We're gonna put that in the show notes as well for you guys that if you wanna go deeper with your breath. It doesn't matter if you have the superpowers or not, because we all do have the superpowers, but you can still look on that book and see what is there for you.
In order for us to access our strengths, we need to be in a state of calm and poise, right? So it's good to calm us down through whatever works for each person. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I really like when the superpowers are coming, and I don't know if you had that, but it's this superpower of this extra adaptability to the place. I call it like the chameleon mode. Like basically, the chameleon mode is coming, and you're able to. That was for me, so I wouldn't want to hear it from you. That I was actually able to adapt in any situation, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like, I didn't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm just gonna stay in that moment, stay present. Because even staying present is very hard for us. And I had that so many times to be present in the moment because I was like, oh, I'm everywhere right now. But just staying in that moment, and then the adaptability superpower is coming. You're staying present, you're staying focused. Then the hyper focus is changing for you as well, and then you're able to adapt to any situation. So I want to hear you, Anna. How was your adaptability chameleon mode for you, and what you can say to us about it?
Yeah, definitely adaptability. I see a lot in people with ADHD. Obviously, everyone is different, and the executive function profile could look very different for each person, as there could be comorbidity, meaning another condition. So that's why right assessment is very important on how you manage your neurodiversity. But adaptability is definitely a strength, I find. And we see it a lot in business as well. I'm a business owner. We need to be very adaptable. We need to be, yeah, work under stress very well, find solutions, all of these. ADHD strength. That's why many business owners have neurodiversity. Many famous people like Richard Branson, Disney, Elon Musk also has neurodiversity, I think, ASD, Bill Gates, and many. Yeah, adaptability, lots of ideas, out of the box thinking. We think very fast, right? Right, Ferrari has been a common metaphor. So, yeah, lateral thinking, creativity, hyper focus, all of these are strengths that we see in business. And when we put ourselves in the right environment, we can thrive. So that's the key, just putting ourselves in the right environment. Or when we find ourselves in the not right environment, to use our entrepreneurial strengths to help that environment in some way and bring that asset to the table. Because yes, it's not linear thinking. We think very fast, many avenues at the same time. That's why we can be adaptable.
We can be adaptable, we can think outside of the box, we can see the bigger picture. guys, this is all our strengths. The one that they said to you, you can't focus. You are not finishing the things. But if you're gonna flip the script and you're gonna reframe yourself and you're gonna see all these beautiful traits that they keep you going and they made you the human you are, an incredible human living here right now, doing the thing, being incredible businesswoman or a mom or a wife or a friend, the things that you've been doing in your life. If Because most likely we are attracted to people that they have some traits already of the ADHD. That's how we are drawn to each other. And if you have them, just accept them and love them. And yeah, just love it. Love the fact that, oh, I couldn't finish the things. Love it for yourself. Oh my God, how does it serving me? It's your superpower, it's your strength, it's being able to adapt to yourself. Even the fact right now, old me, I will get so much distracted and I wouldn't even know where I am going. But I treat it as my superpower because holy shit, I was fucking present in this moment, right? I gave myself that attention. I give all of me to that moment where we are in right now. So it's all possible for you, the regulation nervous system, to start practicing, to doing the yoga daily movements or dancing or tapping or breathing. These simple steps, they're really gonna help you discover that field for you. You know what it is actually? You are staying present with your feelings, but at the same time you are disconnecting from your emotions, but you're staying present with your feelings. How do you feel about this?
Yes, emotion could be something more intense, but being present with your feelings is very key to, yeah, self-awareness, mindfulness, and knowing yourself better. And I wanted to say something about self-acceptance and embracing your strengths. Some people don't see them as superpowers. They think ADHD is a liability. But I think most people have been placed in the wrong environments and have not leveraged their strengths, because everyone has strengths. For example, what I see in my clients' lives, for example, let's start at school. The school is outdated with a very structured, organized, linear way of obsolete types of work that does not do well with your ADHD brain, that is full of life, creative, finds solutions out of the box. So you cannot fit in the box if you're living outside of the box, right? So one friend of mine, she's a counselor. She has dyslexia. Her child has dyslexia, so neurodiversity. She felt that her child would be better served with homeschooling, for example. So changing the environment. Her child was homeschooled and she was a single mom working in a caravan doing therapy sessions with her child being homeschooled. Imagine how hard that is and how empowering also. And then when everyone said, don't get your daughter a mobile phone because she would get distracted, because she found it difficult to do spelling because of her dyslexia, she learned how to write by texting her friends. So the way people think sometimes is wrong when you have neurodiversity. This is what I want to illustrate. At the moment, her daughter is not only can read, but is performing on stages in London doing performing arts. So not only she has managed her neurodiversity, she has leveraged it and overcome it. And that's very powerful because she was put in the right environment. She had the good strategies, not what worked for most people, what would work with her brain. And this is how you can tap into your strengths more.
Yeah, I just love it. I just love it. That story. It's such a confirmation for us that we don't have to. And I did the episode about authenticity. You can go and check. But the guys, that's why you don't have to fit in. That's why you don't have to be in that environment what doesn't serve you. That's why we have so many different opportunities for you to try, to see, to do something different than you used to do, to break from that old pattern thinking, whatever they gave to you, whatever they said to you, that you can't do it. It's not such a thing that you can't do certain things. It's not such a thing that you're not gonna finish. It's not such a thing that you won't be able to accomplish. It's not such a thing. Because if the girl that haven't been going to school, and we've been told that we have to go to school in order to freaking know how to write, and she was doing this, learning from her phone, typing to her friend, and giving the biggest performance, that shows that it can be so many ways of learning, of absorbing, of that adaptability, of that hyper focus that she was having when she was typing her friends, right? So, no, that's beautiful, Anna. That's such an incredible story that you don't have to fit in. And I've got another question to you. How would you say we can stay protected and we can kind of feel good in our field, but at the same time getting that self help on the inside with our emotions when we are having these panic attacks or that moment where we just want to be inside, because we all did have our moments like this where we just want to be, okay, I'm not going in, I want to be in, because that's what it is. Then the emotional talks, guys, is going very left. It's going so left that you are being very slumped and you're not in that space where you're thinking that you can be at. But I want Anna to give us this kind of your golden ingredients, how you or what you can recommend for people to being in that place of hiding yourself, to being able to come out and stop the bullshit talk.
That takes work. The more work you put into this, the more you get out of it, obviously. But it's good to know if you're an extrovert or an introvert, first of all. Because if you're an introvert and your job, for example, is so extroverted, you might suffer. You might not be well placed in that environment. So, understanding yourself, how you work best, putting yourself in the environment to thrive. The environment dictates performance. So, it's good skill when you apply for a job, for example, to look at the job descriptions to see, am I good at that? Is my natural strength these skills? Or do I just like the mission, vision of the company? That's two different things, because you can do things that align to your mission, vision, but the job might be inappropriate for you. Therefore, you're sabotaging yourself. You're putting yourself in an environment that is not well placed for you. Just self-awareness. And of course, just self-acceptance. We need to accept that with ADHD, sometimes it comes RSD, rejection, sensitivity dysphoria, and we might feel more sensitive to criticism. We might feel emotional about that. So just by accepting that, we minimize its impact on us, and having strategies to reframe the inner talk and just say, okay, I know where this is coming from. This is coming from RSD, or this is coming from the old version of me, or from a wounded part of myself. Now, I'll take this part of myself, I'll place it next to me, and this part of myself, that is a wounded part of me, will see how me, the adult, is doing this thing now and learn. It's not just bypassing emotions, working through them.
Yeah, that's acknowledge. That's this true healing when you can sit with it, when you love that version of you who had that belief that they can do or whatever is happening there, seeing them, acknowledging them, having that awareness, and then breaking yourself free, saying, okay, I get it that I've got this, but I can do this, 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 and this, right? So it's a lot of internal work, and I think it doesn't matter if you have the ADHD or if you don't. But when I was starting my whole personal growth journey, yeah, that expansion about myself, this really self-awareness of the things that what I like, actually, me as a me, like no one else but me, spending the time with myself for an hour or two, doing the vision board, doing what I like to eat. Even the fact that, what do you like to eat? That was a crazy question for me when they've asked me. I was like, okay. But then I was asking myself, do I want to have more for dinner chicken, or do I want to have more fish? What is best for me? What do I truly like, right? And then I was like, okay, so this is coming more in. And this is going more out. And then your awareness is coming, and then intuition is coming in this as well, because you start trusting yourself, right? So I think that starting that journey with yourself, but to truly knowing, like, okay, that's me. That's what I like. That's what my values. That's what I want to go by. That's how I see the world. It will be so important, especially that was for me at this very, very beginning, to know my values. So we're going to post the value assessment for you. So we can take the value assessment and just tick what is the most important from you. And then you can just categorize the feelings, the values that you have for yourself. And even the feelings, if English is your not first language and it's hard for you to express, you can have like a feelings word table. We can post in the show notes, so you will be able to express how you are more with yourself, even though if it's gonna be a self-talk actually. Because guys, we ADHD, we have so many self-talks. The self-talk can be the one that is gonna fucking take you down and you're gonna be, oh my God. Or will be the stuff like, fuck yeah, I love myself. I look pretty. I'm doing the things. Like if we can do this dumb, stupid black talk with ourselves, we can do the white light one when we're gonna be opening our heart, opening our possibilities, opening our energy field to get more with this good stuff coming to us. Anna, yes. I mean, we are jumping so much in the topic, but I really want to give so many insights. Even the fact that ADHD, in the end of the day, guys, we are so disorganized, but at the same time, we are very organized and very structured. And actually, I want to touch on that with you. Being organized, being structured as an ADHD, how does it help you to have your process, routine, structure, calendar, name it how you want it, but how does it make you feel?
Wow. That is the easiest thing to tackle when you work with someone for executive functioning, for example, and that's the basis for everything. If you're more organized, you can start things on time. So you have also better time management. That helps your emotional control as well. How you feel about yourself, your self belief, that's important. That feeds into your self confidence. So definitely working on that. And all of us we have areas that we're more organized than others. Nobody has to remind us to do things. And we're more inspired to do that without reminders. These are the areas that are true values and the things that we might be very good at as well. So it's good to know all these things and work on other things that need more
Yeah,
managing.
the time management is a big one because I remember when, especially I think when you're a business owner as well. And I love the blueprints. I love the structures. Everything in a business has to have my structure. I know who is going where because that's how I am and I love it. But I remember when it was more of a problem for the structure for myself when actually, guys, can you imagine this? Like, you're so fucking busy that we are forgetting to eat, to drink. And then, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's already 6 o'clock. I'm just gonna have a breakfast. And then they're like, oh, shit. That day gone by. It's already 2 o'clock and I was only on the coffee. But I remember when actually even this was so freaking important in my routine. I know for someone it can be crazy, like how the fuck you forgot to eat breakfast, or how did you forget to things? But guys, this is real. This is happening. This is something what you have to actually look at when you want to be 100% functioning with yourself, and then you can transmit to the business structure, even to planning the meals. Like my Sundays, I don't know. I do Notion for my things. And I try to, and I mean, I have 5 calendars. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I have 5 calendars.
Okay.
Okay. They're all in the different colors. They have the colors. They are matched. And I have my take me away calendar too, the notebook, just in case if I'm not going to have anything nearby. But I'm going to say this, keeping yourself and making that time for yourself. For example, if it's a Sunday or if it's a Monday, when you're going to sit down and plan your week ahead, create that space for yourself for this 1 or 2 hours. And even though it's going to be so many things that you have to finish, just write them down because you're going to release, you're going to see, you're going to feel how many things are in your head, but they don't have to be in your head because you don't have to freaking remember all of them. It's okay for you to just forget about it and just make a note and then come back to the note when the day arrived. So yeah, that's one for me when I like to stay organized and how I'm managing my Sundays. And I encourage you on that. I encourage you because that's what it is for you. It's a self-help talk here. You have the tangible results, what they are working for us, for Anna, for the client, but also for herself, for me, how I figure it out, what was stopping me, what was helping me. But here we have Anna that is actually giving us that, that knowledge. That so take advantage, see how you can stay organized, see where is it coming from. Start small and then you can upgrade slowly, because we tend as well, when we are so into something, we go, yes, I'm gonna get it, jump, and then we don't finish, for example, or something is happening. So stay with yourself, give yourself that time, give yourself that space, connect with the different environment, as Anna said, right? Anna, do you have any rapid advice for someone, or any tip that our people can take it from us right now and they can go about their day, and yeah, they can remember about their superpowers?
I believe that if we set goals aligned to our values and tapping into the ADHD strengths, like hyperfocus, creativity, adaptability, lateral thinking, can push us forward. For example, I remember when I first arrived in London, I did two jobs at the same time. I was working at an educational institution with students that had aggressive behavior. I remember being injured, dealing with them every day. I remember holding desks and chairs in the air not to injure other students, restraining students. I remember having bruises on my legs for 2 weeks, pulled hair, sometimes torn clothes. Okay? That was fight or flight, but I had to do the job because I just arrived in London. I didn't have much money. So it was my first real job, let's say. And then in the evening, I was helping a woman who had depression in the university. And when she saw me, actually, I was supposed to help her. She asked me, "Are you okay?" She was not meant to ask me if I'm okay. I was supposed to be there to help her. And just realize I have been going very, very fast for a very, very long time, have been putting in myself into environments that are not positive or empowering or inspiring, and I decided I needed to slow down. Otherwise, something bad could happen. So I quit the job. And because I always wanted to have this business I'm having now, I put into action going to seminars, learning from mentors, being more organized about these things, and slowly I made it happen. So I removed myself from a toxic environment. I made my dream happen. So I believe that anyone, if they have enough perseverance and put into their mind whatever they want to do and take some actions every day to step into that version of themselves, the more that they can overcome adversity, the more they become themselves.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. Again, is this, guys, for me, what I'm getting is this exchange right now. If you're gonna lean in to who you truly are, and you're gonna accept, full acceptance, full awareness, full knowing, then how the life is gonna start unfolding for you. We know that we have so many incredible evidence, like Anna, for example, doing her dream job, doing her life, breaking from anything what was there for her, from the job that wasn't serving her, to going. Same with me, quitting my job, doing what I love. And other people, that when we are fully leaning in and fully loving and fully accepting ourselves, it's all possible and it's all happening for us. So on that note, I just feel that we covered so much today. We've jumped about the superpowers, we've jumped about the routines. We talked about the breath, the somatics, the tapping, the vagus nerve system. So that's what you can go and do, that, guys. The shaking, putting the music on, shake the things out, jump out. That's how you're gonna regulate if you really have to do it very quickly. Don't forget about the movements, as we said with Anna in the morning. That's what is good. Keeping your organizational schedule. So if you are lacking with having a drink or having something to eat, make sure to put like a calendar notification for yourself. And we encourage you to do something for yourself, or maybe if it's going to be a Sunday, maybe if it's going to be a Friday, but that you're going to create that hour, 1 hour for yourself to see where you are, do that value assessment, to do that needs assessment, to see who you actually freaking are and how a badass person you are. Where are you going with your gifts? What do you like? If wealth is your thing, freaking own it. If art and creativity is your thing, freaking own it. Have that. Be in it. Embody it. So Yeah, Anna, do you want to say anything else on here?
I'm happy to send you a gift if you want to see your executive functions, strengths, and areas to develop, because executive function is a predictor of future success. I have a free tool that gets you under 3 minutes personalized results into your inbox called Executive Function Predictor. So you can email me or find me on my website and ask for it, and I'll happily send it to
Lovely.
you. Anna,
We're gonna put that
annadaphna.com.
as well, guys, in the show notes. So if you're gonna go and find Anna, she's gonna be annadaphna.com, and you can find her in the show notes and on the internet and in the following. She's gonna be as well in my followers when we're gonna do the lives and all the promo job. So go ahead and find her there. And yeah, Anna, thank you so much. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Vera.
And I will be waiting for the next episode with you for more
Fantastic. I look
knowledge,
forward.
for spreading the word. And it's good to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you, Vera.
Thank you.